All right. So how do you want to start this thing?
I think we should start by saying hi.
Hi.
For those that are listening, this is the audio podcast. For those that are looking at our faces, which we are, hi. This is the video version of the podcast. Why are we separating things like this, Tim? What's going on? What's this premium thing?
We're trying something a little bit different here. Keeping the lights on around here is tough, as you can probably tell.
They're very bright, yes.
Yeah, yes, and that requires money. Long story short.
Yes.
So what we're going to try to do is a monthly type podcast, at least monthly for now, where the audio version is available for free to everyone and the video version is available to premium members. If you were to go onto our YouTube page right now, youtube.com/Tim and Dylon show. No, youtube.com/Tim and Dylon.
You got it. It's that
Minus
one.
the show.
We'll find.
Yeah.
We'll register the other one too. We'll get them all.
Then you are able to hit that join button for 99 cents. You can get a simple shout out in every video that we do for the month that you pay for that. And then for $5 a month, you get access to all of our premium videos that we will be putting out, including longer form Let's Plays, video podcasts like these, and a bunch of other wonderful stuff that we decided to come up with between now and then. So,
Yay!
Yeah, this is just kind of an attempt for us to make an honest go out of doing YouTube. Dylon and I have probably a combined 30 fucking years of experience on YouTube, and it's neither of us have ever really tried to make a career out of it. So this is our honest and earnest attempt to say, give us your money.
And we're not even playing video games right now. It's so weird. It's so backwards to everything that we know and do.
So this podcast is just an opportunity for us as friends, Dylon and I, to catch up about stuff that isn't, work related when it comes to sitting down and playing video games. You guys get to see us play video games and enjoy each other's company for 5 days a week. And I love that you get to do that. But I don't know that it ever really gets a sense of who we are as people behind the curtain. So
yeah, we get to goof around. We get to joke around. They get the on version of us. And now they miss out on all the before show stuff and the after show stuff when we're just like sitting like and watching
now they're getting
TV.
The bread crusts is what you're saying. This is a show that's all made of bread crusts, extra bits of Cinnabon, and what else do people throw away the edges of?
Like the cookie dough once you
apple
cut
peelings.
Out. Yeah, I like apple peelings. That's good for you. When you cut your cookie dough and then you peel like the outside off of the cookie cutter.
All of that mixed together into a delicious audio-visual smoothie. So if any of that sounds good, I hope you all enjoy what's to come. So to kind of start off things, Dylon, what have you been playing other than what we've been playing?
Oh shit, man! I feel like I talk about it every single episode. I'm like, yeah, so I've been playing a lot of New Vegas. I have been playing a lot of Fallout New Vegas. That is that's my binge game. Where I'm just
but you're not playing it normal, right? Like
no.
you're doing it with mods and shit.
I started playing normally for a while, and then I tried to play another game because it kind of lost its flair, and I was enjoying myself. But then I thought, you know what? This sandbox is so fun to mess around in. I love I love running around and doing all the all the quests and stuff that the game has in its engine. I love all the ideas that it had and all the things that like Obsidian, what they ran, and Interplay, I think, what they ran with. But I feel like it didn't go far enough, and I feel like everybody else had that thirst too. They're like, oh my God, like what if you could knock people out and like drag them to other rooms, and like that's a part of the stealth mechanics and stuff like that. Oh, I'm a crazy person.
Isn't that a Red Dead Redemption thing?
It's probably a Red Dead Redemption thing. I played a good amount of the first one, but that was a long time ago. I seem to remember
being able to lasso people and like drag them along and stuff.
Yeah, and I actually had a moment like that recently where there. What was the quest? I think it was a bounty. It was a mod to add a bunch of new bounties because there's only 3 in that game. You're looking for fiends usually, and this was like, hey, you're looking for NCR Rangers and things like that are more interesting than just crazy people on a bunch of drugs that you have a reason to kill. Now it's, hey, this guy defected and he's killing a bunch of people that walk by on this road. You should probably stop him. And I also downloaded a mod, you'll hear that a lot, where you could make people surrender. So if they're low enough health and you aim your gun at them, they'll like put their hands up and they'll sit on the ground and they'll be like, okay, no, I give up.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then combine that with another mod where I can knock people out if I sneak up on them. Did that, dragged him away onto train tracks, and then interrogated him there. But he wasn't playing ball, so I just killed him right there. Yeah, yeah.
Do we need to take you to the special doctor with the long couch?
With the couch with the long
that's
sleeves
very
as well.
dark.
It's
very dark.
It was pretty dark, but it's like I said, it's a fun sandbox to play in, and I've played as so many different kinds of characters just by going
to
pretend to be that person. But I was a cannibal with a lying problem. I was a kleptomaniac, idiot who didn't have any good dialogue responses. I died a lot. Most of the time. Yeah. So a lot of fun with that game. And I feel like whenever we do these weekly recaps of what we've done recently in the episodes, I think Fallout will come out a lot. But I'll try to play some other games in the meantime. Like I've been playing Xcom 2 as well with my buddy. And that's been very fun.
Any mods on that one, or are you just playing that one?
We tried.
Regularly?
We tried, and then they updated something, and then it broke everything. Guns were flying around, and any files were changed, and we don't mess with that anymore.
I think I discovered that when we were doing more Blade and Sorcery, and I wanted to download some mods that would add some new magical weapons and stuff. But unfortunately, they put out an update not too long after that broke most of the modded content for that game, because every time they redo the engine, it like comes out in a new build, and then that new build has to be integrated into all the mods.
Anything that's like scripted by hand is now like it's cut off at the base, where the first line of code is like, I can't find it. No, shut it down. Crash the desktop. I'm
basically
very used to that.
Basically. So that's I am familiar with some of the headaches that come with modding culture.
And I've tried to avoid it for so long, and I feel like Fallout, I tweet about this almost yearly when I tried to go back and play the Fallout series in general, the 3D ones, not the isometric ones, the Bethesda and up, where I go to start the game, I start playing it, and then I'm like, you know what? I really could spice this up a bit. I know there's lots of crazy stuff out there, so I go to download more, and then I can't get it working because I'm not good at that. And then after that, I'm like, all right, you know what? I spent 9 hours down this rabbit hole. It's not working. I'm just going to go play Fallout 4. And then I realize Fallout 4 kind of sucks, and then I go play something else. But I'm actually sticking to it now.
That sounds like the appropriate loop, honestly. That's the one downside of mods. If you sit there and work on them for several hours and then they don't work, you realize, well, I just lost several hours that I could have just been playing the game. You know what I mean? Like, if I wasn't trying to pursue this thing that ultimately did not work, I could just
be satisfied with just the game.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm insatiable. Yeah, I can't do that. Yeah. So, what have you been playing?
Gosh, I almost have to look over here at my desktop. Well, other than trying desperately to get us beyond Alice's Palace in Persona 5 so that way I can play it myself, I finally got a...
We're almost there.
Yeah, almost fucking there. I started playing Rage 2.
Oh. Surprisingly.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of went back a little bit. It was a game that I got for free on the Epic Store a while ago, and it just kind of sat there. I tried to get into Neo 2.
Okay. I played the first one. I haven't played the second one.
Yeah, I wanted a new Soulsborne game.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, well, I could try that. It's new. It's fairly decent. I remember the first one being decently reviewed, and this one seems to be getting better reviews, so let's try it. And I think I might have made it through 3 hours before I was like, no, this is not for me. This is not for me.
Really?
And I'll tell you what it is.
Yes,
it's because there is a mechanic that... So expending stamina in Dark Souls usually just takes off the chunk of stamina, right?
Yep. You're committing.
Expending stamina in Neo gives you an opportunity to regain 3/4 of that stamina by an active reload process, like a Gears of War style active reload process, where after you swing, with every fucking hit.
Might as well just make it automatic there, huh?
Well, what I mean is essentially what it does, and it's not like a parry action either.
Yeah,
so like
it's not
if you
a
get in a
riposte,
hit
yeah.
and then somebody's coming back at you and then you get that thing, it's not like it's going to parry the hit that's coming. You're just going to get hit. So what it does is either you have to create enough of an opening for hit, get your stamina back, and then roll away. When usually Dark Souls is trying to make you think hit, roll away, because you've got just enough time to squeeze that last hit in, you know what I mean?
Minimum effort, but maximum value.
Right. So coming from the world of Sekiro, where I expected the thing, the little poofta to parry for you. And then coming from the world of Dark Souls, where you're expecting to get in as many hits as you can in your window before you get just the little sliverous chance to slide away.
Sneak it all in.
That is not what that game does at all. And so it took a little bit of recognizing, okay, this is what's happening. This is why I'm not liking this game right now. Because I'm playing this game wrong. You know, like, I wholly admit that it was me playing the game wrong, but I just couldn't make my brain... Yeah, I couldn't make my brain do it the right way. Yeah. So I was like, nah.
Okay.
Which is when I switched over to Rage 2. And it's completely different. It's much more of a Borderlands-y style game.
Yeah, that's what I've seen, but I really have seen so little of that game aside from enough to think that.
Yeah, but it's a good $40 game.
Okay.
It's, I think, about 15 hours, give or take, of a pretty decent run and gun shooter.
And that's,
shooter mechanics are awesome.
Main story, or is it open world? Like I
it
said,
is open
I know
world.
Very little.
I would say that for me to be able to do, I don't know, 60% of the side quests and locations. So like Fallout style, it's got little beacons around the map that denote
your
different
map markers,
locations and things that you can do within those locations. And then as you go around the map, you clear those off Witcher style. You know, they come up with a question mark, and then you find the thing, and then you go in the thing, and you do the thing, and then you leave the thing.
I gotta get rid of the question mark.
No, that's exactly what it does. And throughout all of that time, you gain new upgrades, new abilities, new weapons. You can upgrade your car. You can upgrade yourself.
Ooh, okay.
You can upgrade your weapons. You can upgrade your abilities individually. And then each of your abilities also have like side grades underneath those abilities. So there's a lot there to give you that dopamine rush of like, I'm getting just incrementally stronger.
Curious.
Okay, so you get a barrier ability that like lets you throw out a little holographic barrier, and it like unfolds really coolly.
Yeah.
And one way.
One way,
so it's just in front of you,
Fine with that.
But like you get down behind it, and it's really cool. One of the side grades you can get is to make the cooldown less, to make it actually like deal damage when an enemy runs into it.
Okay, like a zap.
So it becomes like an electric fence almost.
Okay, dope.
And then also the ability to make it wider and taller.
Of course, yeah. And is this you have to pick between these three options or so?
No.
Or you can do everything if you put enough points into it. Okay.
You can get them all.
There's something to be said about speccing, but I also do like being just the god tier, just running through everything as just destroy it. Just destroy the game.
I will say that by the end of the game, that is very much how you feel.
Yeah.
I've had some places that are like the highest difficulty location that I'm just like, yeah, whatever.
Not anymore.
And you run through very quickly.
Yesterday's me, maybe. Not today.
I have had a decent amount of fun with it.
Good.
The vehicles have this really awesome thing where they can go everywhere, and every vehicle has rocket boosters on it, because of course it does. Why not?
I mean, yeah, Borderlands, they did
and
it.
So
Might as well.
Sometimes you're able to take your car and like go up 80, 90 degree fucking slopes, because you can just rocket boost right up like some kind of Batman crawler.
Like
and
some kind
amazing.
of Skyrim horse. That's new technology I'm glad they finally implemented.
So that's made me happy. You can do like little rocket jumps to be able to get, okay, and now I'm up here on a little bit more secure ledge, and then I go,
That's so funny.
So yeah, I gotta say, I've been having a lot more fun with that game than I thought I would be. And I was, after playing like Yakuza Like a Dragon is one of the other games that I that's one of the first games in a while that I completed like all the way through on my own, because I never beat games when I'm just playing them on my own. I don't. I get to the end of the tech tree and I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm not getting the constant serotonin now. I'm out of here. Yeah, I need to go find another muse.
But that game drove me to beat the final boss because I was like, I gotta know how this story ends. The story's so good, and it was really great. But yeah, like in looking for something to replace a game as amazing as Like a Dragon, Rage 2 wasn't bad.
Yeah, a nice little it's like watching Friends. It's like just candy, just brain candy.
Yeah.
Like I'm not looking for the deepest story.
Is.
It's like Yakuza. I played a little bit of Yakuza Zero, going back to that, which is that's the prequel, and then there's Kiwami 1 and 2, which is the remake of 1 and 2 in like the newer engine. So I'm starting with Zero, and I've only played Yakuza 4. And watched most of it. Yeah. And
you got so far to go because I think they get to Yakuza 7 before Like a Dragon happens.
I think 7 is Like a Dragon. I could be wrong about that, but I think in Japan it was called Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon. You want to fact check that?
I'm pulling it up right now.
Do it up. Yeah, because we can't do numbers in North America.
I think you're right.
Sometimes
I was thinking of a particular scene from Yakuza 6.
Okay.
Because like. Well, okay, got it. So the game Yakuza 6 is the 7th main entry in the Yakuza series.
Okay. Did they call it that in Japan?
It was called Yakuza 6, The Song of Life. So it's always been called Yakuza 6, but it is the 7th installment of the series.
And then what was Like a Dragon? They didn't give it a number in Japan? I don't know where I pulled that out.
Like a Dragon is Yakuza 7. But it was never called Yakuza 7 anywhere.
I don't know where I got that.
Wait, no, that's not true. That's not true. In Japanese, it's called Like a Dragon 7, Whereabouts of Light and Darkness.
Oh,
Hikari
I just used my smart boy.
Yami no Yuke.
My smart boy style. I forget what the fighting styles are called in Yakuza, but that's what I'm going with. My genius style kick. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's how I got that info.
I had not played any of the Yakuza games until I started Like a Dragon because the RPG mechanics really appealed to me. You know, I found myself very quickly falling for that. I was like, okay, I get it now. If this is why people like this game, it's because it's got a really heartfelt kind of story to it. And then also incredibly weird and wacky mini games.
Very emotionally driven narrative, very earnest and serious, but like, just the wackiest hijinks, garbage bullshit you could ever think of. And he's like, I gotta do it. I committed
Like
to doing
a Dragon, then put on a meta spin with the RPG mechanics where the main character thinks he's in
Dragon Quest.
Oh, thank you very much. I was thinking, all I could think of was Blue Dragon, and I was like, no, that's close, but that's not
Rancher.
right.
Get your CDs.
And so there's a lot of meta jokes there about video gaming in general, and then that specific game, and like how real life kind of translates into video game mechanics, and like getting a side job is kind of like taking on a side quest, and gaining experience and getting better at a job and getting a promotion is kind of like leveling up, you know? And it was like, okay, all right, game, I see what you're doing here. You're selling me a game of life.
Yeah.
You're selling me a game of life, and I'm not hating it.
And I think that's the lessons they give you a lot. Like from what little I've heard about this game, just through hearsay, a lot of seeing characters in their wacky predicaments go through something. What's the word? Just like debilitating. Something like, I remember hearing about there's a girl in a hospital and she's like, no, I'm ready to die. As soon as like the last persimmon or orange falls off the tree, that's it. And then the main character is going, no, I'm going to make sure that thing never falls off the tree, and all the wacky stuff.
I remember that quest.
That happens to try to get that girl a positive outlook on life. Like, it's just so inspiring. I feel like it's like those RPG, like life RPG games that are like on your phone, where it's like, do the laundry, you get this much experience, but they made it a game now, an actual game. Yeah. And it has nothing to do with real life.
And they made you have attachments to certain characters.
Totally.
You know, like that little girl that you're talking about,
Yeah.
you meet her several times, you
Yeah.
know, and you're always like, I want to say, if I remember the quest right, and this is only minor spoilers for a side quest in a game that you really should play.
And there's lots more to play in it. It's not just
I think you go and see her like 4 times, and every time there's somebody else fucking with the tree, and it's like, no, don't fuck with this tree. This little girl is trying to live. Stop it. So like there's a sumo guy who's like practicing by hitting the tree, and there's like a guy who's trying to, I think like post some voodoo doll there to get back at a girl
Jesus.
who doesn't like him or something
is the
like that.
worst place
He's
to do that.
hammering on the tree.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
all these people trying to mess with this persimmon tree, and every time you come back around, it's like, again, I've got to save this persimmon tree because I want this little girl to have hope in her life.
You just hear the baseball bat
I don't know,
clink
it's
on the
rare-
ground as he runs in. Ding, ding,
Yeah,
ding, ding.
it's rare for a video game to kind of like give you those attachments to
Yeah.
characters. We were talking about that during our Rhythm Doctor playthrough, which, by the way, shout
Yeah.
out to our Rhythm Doctor playthrough. If you haven't seen that, you should
Go
definitely go and watch it right
and
now.
if you want us to play more, let us know and we'll do it.
Is this your plugging motion?
Yeah, it's also when the camera goes out of focus, I do that, and it's just like it's my voodoo dance to get the camera to work. Is what I'm sticking
gotcha.
with.
Yeah, focus lock is a friend.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I've never heard of her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if we can figure that out.
You should
It's
introduce
okay.
us.
This is the introductory episode, so you know. Oh, speaking of, I have some news.
Oh no. Oh, you
Yeah.
said news, not nudes. was
Those are
before
for
the
after
episode.
the show, and I'll
Okay.
send you those later.
Okay, you took them
I-
before. Okay, gotcha.
Had an introduction of something into my body. The second time, I
Oh,
got
no.
my second shot for the Corona-19. The COVID-19 vaccine.
COVID-19. Yeah, I love that vaccine. That
That old
makes,
Corona-19.
Yeah, God, I would drink 19 Coronas. I gotta say, after the whole COVID pandemic thing started, I'm not a beer person, but I was like, I fucking miss Coronas now all of a sudden. And we went to the grocery store, like while everybody was stealing toilet paper and setting things on fire, and I'm like, oh man, they're out of Corona. What do I do?
That's so funny that they were actually out. That was like the one beer around here that wasn't being purchased during that time.
Oh, dude, I should have. If only the airlines were open.
But yeah, so I got the Moderna vaccine, and I got my second dose today. I didn't get it today. I got it yesterday at 2 p.m., and it is currently 8:30 my time.
And then
So
you
I've now had it
slept
in my
all day.
body for about... I mean, yes, that's exactly what I did. I've had it now in my body for about 18 hours.
Sweet.
I feel pretty good.
You look
I've got a
taller,
little bit
more
of arm
muscular?
soreness now. No, that's the steroids. That's a different shot.
my bad. My bad.
But I did feel a little crummy yesterday. I got myself some NyQuil and basically slept for, let's see, like 6 p.m., which is when I started feeling it, about 4 or 5 hours after taking it.
Once it's circulated enough and you're like, ooh, I'm heavy.
Slept from 6, I took some NyQuil, and I slept till about midnight. And I woke up at midnight, and I kind of putzed around the house for a little bit until I started to feel poopy again around like 4 this morning. Mm-hmm. And then I went to bed at 4, and I woke up at about 11 o'clock this morning feeling really good.
Okay, so you're like quick sickness. You have it, you get over it fast because you do the rest. You don't play video games all night like me, and then you're like, I actually feel rejuvenated. What the hell?
The one piece of advice that like really seemed to help me was to drink so much water, like so much water.
Oh yeah.
I got super thirsty. I think I drank 4 of these.
And those look huge. You are not
You're
a
looking
small
at-
person.
About a 30-ounce glass.
Jesus Christ.
So 4 times 30 is 120 ounces.
That's a lot of ounces. This is 1.5 liters.
Not ounces. Yeah, ounces.
An imperial ounce or a what kind
A
of
liquid ounce.
A liquid ounce. I think there's 2 kinds of.
I'm pretty sure there is. That's why
a
I was
14 and a
kind of
16
concerned
or
at first.
something? Yeah.
Sure. Let me look that up here.
Yeah, it's getting
Liquid
fact
ounce.
check mode.
Yeah,
But,
why not? We've got the ability to. Of
course.
A fluid ounce is a unit of
Yes.
volume to liquid.
crush it.
1 U.S. fluid ounce is the equivalent of 1/16th fluid pint.
Oh.
But it does not compare it to a dry ounce. So a dry ounce I know is
Like powders and stuff.
28 grams.
Oh God. We've gone 4 layers deep, and I can feel the steam coming off my head.
Yeah. Okay. What's the difference between ounces and fluid ounces? Regular ounces are a unit of weight. Fluid ounces are a unit of volume. Obviously.
Of course.
So yeah, that would be your biggest difference there. Now it doesn't say. Let's see. 1 cup of water happens to equal both 8 fluid ounces and 8 ounces of weight.
That's why they say 1 cup all the time.
That 1 cup equals 8 ounces of weight universally in recipes, but water is the exception rather than the rule. Since fluid ounces and ounces are measuring very different things, they rarely are the same for both ingredients. Think of 1 cup of flour and 1 cup of tomato sauce. They both occupy the same volume, 8 fluid ounces, but they have very different weights. 8 ounces of the flour, 7.9 ounces on the tomato sauce. Because tomato sauce is denser.
That damn dense soup.
Yeah.
I love it.
That makes total sense, actually. That makes total sense. Volume versus mass.
Yeah, it does. All jokes aside, I do love a good sauce, but
I like learning things.
I do also. When there's a bright light in my eyes, I feel like my brain has an aversion to absorbing information because it's spending so much. You spend only 10% of your brain power, right? Because the rest is the psychic stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I'm spending the 10% shielding my like good memories and good thoughts and math from the light burning. That I don't get to enjoy it as much, but
I understand completely.
Send me the article and I'll read it while I'm pooping or something. That's when I do my best learnings. With the lights off.
So everything seems to be fine with the vaccine. I'm not getting any messages from the mothership telling me where to go or what to do, so I don't think Bill Gates got me this time.
You're not getting any new messages, right?
Right.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you for clarification. You're exactly right. And so yeah, I mean, so far so good, and it's going to protect me and my family. So if that is any sort of information to convince you or anyone you love to go and get it yourselves, please do so. It looks like here in the United States, most adults should have access to it by May 1st.
Oh, that makes me so happy. That was one of my biggest fears. From my day job, we did like temporary layoffs because there weren't enough hours because nobody was there. We didn't need anybody
Nobody
there.
is shopping at the mall during La Pandemia. It's just not happening.
And I finally went back, and the biggest hurdle was, aside from anxiety, because that's just general stuff, generalized anxiety disorder that you work
and having
through,
to deal with people and being out in public
and having to pee as well, because now my brain, I don't know if I told you this, Tim, now my brain just doesn't tell me, or my body just doesn't tell my brain when I have to pee.
Interesting.
So I was lifting a heavy box at work the other day and kind of leaned it against myself while I pressed the button on an elevator. And I was like, ooh, push on my bladder a bit. I really got to pee now, don't I?
Ooh,
yeah. So,
pressure.
What's that pressure happening? Why am I wet and warm? No, but I don't know if that's a side effect of anxiety and ADD medication cocktail that I have every morning, but it's a very interesting byproduct of all that.
Did I ever tell you the story of when I peed myself on top of the Great Wall of China?
Oh my God, I don't think so. But to round off, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was gonna to go ahead and launch into my story. So if you had anything to finish up, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, anxiety aside, COVID was the scariest thing, and we actually now, because we have to work, because we're working in essential services, I will say, not to be too specific, but we are able to pre-register now for the vaccine. So I'm very excited to get that at some point. Maybe in 2 months, maybe in 7 months. Who knows? Canada is doing things weird, but I hope everybody that needs it gets it. And if you're scared,
at least,
sorry, don't be scared.
At least your economic relief is good.
Yes. I am definitely lucky, and I feel like a lot of people are lucky in my similar situation. Could be luckier, could be a lot worse. And there are a lot of people that I know that are going through horrible times because of the government just not feeling like they want to help, or, oh, sorry, you're not eligible for this because of something stupid, or
X,
you have
Y,
to pay
Z.
all of this back because fuck you. So, I hope everybody is bouncing back, and I hope that there are more pardons than initially suspected during tax season. We will see.
Same.
But go ahead, talk about your piss.
So, on my day job, youtube.com/wanderingwolf, we were, God, this would have been July 2019, and talk about great timing. We took a trip to China. And we're one of the last tourists to get to go through China.
Yeah, what, like 3 to 4 months before?
Yeah, everything shut down.
Yeah.
Just a couple of months after that.
I want to say September was like October was like
September. I think it was like November when they actually started closing the border to incoming.
Closing them, yeah.
Yeah. Like it was.
I've seen it on the news for a while, I feel like.
I remember the first 4 deaths coming out of China from this disease in February of last year. And I sent a text over to some of my traveling buddies, and I was like, "Hey, this is going to be a big deal." Like,
yeah. This will definitely affect us in our traveling.
Yeah, y'all should keep an eye on this because it's a big deal. And they were like, it'll be fine. Well, anyway, so while we were in China, we were on top of the Great Wall of China, and it took probably a 5-mile journey to get to halfway through the trail where we were. We were supposed to go up this. So if you imagine the Great Wall of China, and now I can actually like
visualize it. Yeah. Show me. Paint me a picture.
You imagine the Great Wall of China as a big wall that just kind of goes along. It's not straight. It's got a lot of curves, but I can't do that with my arm.
No.
So we were supposed to crawl up the side of a mountain. And then if you went this way, it was going to take you to the touristy part of the Great Wall, where things got really nice and you were able to like walk over the entire thing and everything was nice and smooth.
Towards the elbow.
If we went this way,
listeners, towards the hand.
You would end up running very low on wall and things become very
segmented,
unkept, and segmented, and you're like crawling up broken pieces of Great Wall that are like 20 feet straight up of free climbing, and stuff like this. So halfway through this trail that was around 4 or 5 miles long, we are up there. Because I don't know if you've seen pictures of the Great Wall of China. The Great Wall of China is a ridge that runs along the top of several mountains.
Yeah, I've seen it from space. Yeah.
Dozens of mountains.
Yeah.
And so when you get to a section of the Great Wall, you're already having to hike up a mountain.
Yeah.
And then it just runs along the crest the whole way. So we're walking along, and there's this little section where to get from this part of the Great Wall to this part, you've got to walk over a slim section of dirt, over a boulder, and then to the other side. This boulder is probably about 5.5 feet tall. Not very big.
It's taller than me. Just taller than me.
Yeah.
Sad.
And it has little stair steppies chiseled into the side of it for you to be able to put your feet, and you just kind of do, and
for
you go
footing
over.
pleasure. Ew.
Now, my legs are already shaking like the world's worst rubber goose. And I, with about 20 pounds of camera gear on my back in a backpack, am expected to climb over this boulder when there are no railings, there are no nothing. The wind is blowing sideways. And what's to the left and right side?
Death.
A 700-foot drop.
Death is, yeah.
I mean, it's all trees and slope going down for as far as the eye can fucking see.
Yeah.
So I have a full-blown panic attack. Like, just straight up, like, I can't do this, dude. I'm gonna die. Like, I've got money in my account right now. There's a helicopter service at the thing. Call them. Get me a helicopter to get me off this thing because I can't do this anymore.
I'm air Ubering home. Goodbye. Yeah. Takes a lot to get there.
I did not know this at the time, but apparently I had to pee. And when I started having a panic attack, I lost all muscle control. Because you just kind of, and unfortunately, bladder is one of those muscles. So I genuinely just started to pee my pants. And there was nothing I could do about it until I recognized it was happening. And I was like, dude, turn away. I need to pee, apparently.
Give me privacy. Yeah, it's happening.
It was one of those weird things. I had never felt my body fail like that before. You know, it genuinely, like, you know, when you do a bicep curl or any kind of exercise, maybe not you, but like somebody out there in the audience, somebody out there in the audience, and you exercise to the point of failure. Have you ever gotten that feeling?
Yes.
Where like your muscles just genuinely
Just
fail and there's
turn
nothing
off.
that you can do
You're
about
like,
it. Yeah.
"What?"
I had never had that happen to an internal organ before.
Uh-huh.
And it was a very strange and very kind of out of body feeling at the time. But that's one of those things that I'll never forget. Like I'm going to be 95 years old, God willing, sitting in a rocking chair trying desperately to remember not to poop myself. And then I'll go, oh yeah, I did pee myself once though.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably still poop myself anyway.
And then you'll forget
95
about
years
it.
old. What are you going to do?
Yeah,
exactly.
but you're going to be ripped. Because you work out constantly till failure.
But yeah,
I'm really
so I
proud of you for
thought
that.
I thought you would appreciate, and the audience would appreciate that glimpse into a real life circumstance. After the fact, I was like, Mike, did you get any of that on film?
Yeah, because that's a moment. That's a viral moment.
No, I kind of wasn't sure you were having and we had to have a long conversation about. I don't care
Jesus.
what it is.
Yeah.
Film it.
Sacrifice yourself for the art.
And if it's too sensitive, we won't use it. We'll just leave it on the cutting room floor and never touch it again. Not that big a fucking deal. But film everything because you're right. That's real. That's what happens to people when you actually travel and you know, some of the unexpected stuff that can come up. And that's part of the joy of doing that as, you know, part of my day job. And I hope it comes across in a lot of the videos that like when shit goes wrong, you can still make a good day out of it.
Oh, totally. Especially if you can edit. Like, if you're turning in your head, in planning stage, a 2-hour walk, and now it's a 5-hour hike, you can make it shorter. You can cut in all the, oh God, what's wrong with us? And you only have to live that once.
Yes.
Everyone else can live it repeatedly on their Google Chromecast on their 55-inch TVs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's youtube.com/wanderingwolf. Go and check it out right now.
Yeah, yeah. Tim peed itself. You have to see the pee adjacent content.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We've already gone for about 40 minutes so far.
Oh my God. We didn't even talk about WandaVision yet.
I was just going to say, so the purpose of this show was originally supposed to be like a monthly recap of the things that we have done. And we started talking about video games. We got that far. What have you been watching lately? We together have been watching WandaVision. Do you want to jump into that, or do you want to jump into individual stuff first?
That will definitely be the longest thing. So I guess we can quickly
so let's
talk
do
about,
individual first.
Yeah. Would you like to go first?
No, you go right ahead. I went first last time.
Hell yeah. Actually, I think I went first because I started talking about Fallout New Vegas right away. But yeah, get to again. 2 for 2. So I have a hard time, like I said at the top of the show, I got some ADDs. It's hard to sit down and do stuff for a long time, even during this. If you're a wonderful member and you are subscribed, joined, all that good stuff, you can see how much I'm fidgeting and grabbing my legs and playing with the little broken fidget cube and stuff like that. It's hard to sit down for long form entertainment. Games are interactive, so you get to have that constant physical interaction with the controller, or even during loading screens, grab this. I try to keep my phone away, blah, blah, blah. But my lovely partner loves RuPaul's Drag Race, and they're airing 2 seasons at the same time this year. One of American Drag Race and one of Drag Race UK.
Oh, wow.
There's a couple Scots in there. Actually, there's a Scot in both seasons, at least.
That's
one.
a lot of racing.
That is a lot of racing and a lot of drag, and they're actually going surprisingly fast for how much they're wearing.
Awesome.
But it's been very good. I've been noticing, aside from how much I enjoy the art of watching drag and of watching people express themselves and stuff like that, I've been noticing a lot of like toxic fan interactivity, which can get very frustrating if you're a fan of something. Holding those people to an unrealistic standard of, hey, you can't get annoyed at anything. Tim, how dare you say you don't like something? You are going to die. Yeah, some people are just crazy. And seeing as a couple queens this year so far, and we're only 3 months in, like get bullied off of social media basically is just very, very frustrating to see, even if they're not the nicest, because everybody deserves like a chance at least. And like, you're watching the beginning of the journey, let them get to the end themselves. they're stuck in this isolation, basically like a quarantine before the pandemic even started, because this is from a year ago. Let them get to the end. Let them figure out their own drama and their own things, and you don't have to bully people. And
a lot of people don't understand that what they see in those reality shows is exactly that. The most edited down, the most drama clips, so that you can bring in people to, get watches and stuff.
And it works, but...
Yeah, if they can catch you at your worst moments, then that's what you're going to be remembered for the rest of ever. Your worst moments. And I don't think any of us want to be remembered for that.
Absolutely not.
I can think of several of my worst moments that if that's what I was known for, whoo, boy, I would have run to the Catskills a long time ago.
Yeah, if I peed my pants on the Great Wall of China, I would definitely be upset about that. But at the same time, you own it. You own it and you talk about it, and it's okay. It's not a big deal. It's funny after, but it's important that people know if you go through something shitty like that, something's gonna happen that's shitty.
It's true. It's very true.
As much as I love the art and everything, it is a little scary to watch that side of it kind of crumble. But I'm rooting for Bimini Bom Boulash, I think is how you say their name. They all shorthand their names, so it gets confusing. That I make that face a lot. Like, wait, I need to get Davey, my partner, to like say their names when they're talking about them. So I'm like, okay, that person's name. I say it a couple times. I'm like, okay, I got this.
Right, so that way you can kind of like get locked up in here.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot. But yeah, good show. That's it.
Well, I've been watching a lot of the new season of The Flash.
Ooh, I haven't thought
over
about that in a
on the
while.
CW.
Yeah.
And we kind of started on this little DC down venture, and then a whole bunch of other stuff came out, so we haven't really been able to watch anything like that recently. But the CW DC shows have been surprisingly adequate for several seasons. Some shows having better seasons than others, and some shows being on while others being off, and But anyway, The Flash is on right now, and it's actually turning out to be a pretty decent season so far. After setting up a bunch of stuff in the Crisis of Infinite Earths, where they like brought all the multiverse together.
Yeah,
into one
you've shown me a few clips
planet.
of that, and it can get pretty sticky, but it's pretty cool.
Basically, they're kind of getting back to, I don't want to say villain of the week status, but they're recovering from the whole catastrophe and getting back to some kind of normalcy. And so what we're finding right now is that like apparently these are episodes that were supposed to be part of last season's finale. Everything okay over there, Dylon?
Technical difficulties.
Do we need to pause?
Possibly.
Okay.
That's still going. My Streamlabs just went, ah! But it said it's still recording in the background, which is interesting to me. Let me see.
Well, the good news is we're now 45 minutes in, so
Yeah.
we can probably wrap up anytime.
Yeah, we can just get through the show.
What I've been watching, and then
and then talk about
WandaVision.
Yeah. Where does it save? Damn it! Show me the files. Recordings to my G. Where my G's at? Okay, G drive. Recording.
Where my G's at?
Make your heels clap. Okay.
Make that booty clap.
Oh. I wish you wouldn't.
Clap, clap, clap.
Okay.
Mommy Milky.
Oh, gross.
Mommy
saw
Milky
that.
is trending on Twitter.
No.
I know.
Okay. My video is fine. It paused. It just stopped the recording and the program restarted. It is how long? 45 minutes, 49 seconds?
God.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
Okay, so we should be good. So I'll just start it again. Okie dokie. Recording that. Pop out my create my projector. We're almost there. Output. There we go. Okay. I'm here, but I'm probably smaller.
Yay, welcome back.
Trying to save resources. All right.
It's
good.
okay. I was trying to find out why Mommy Milky was trending on Twitter.
I hate it.
Man, the internet is sure great. Apparently, some politician may or may not have tweeted it out and then deleted it and is now accusing people of sending him screenshots that are doctored and is like trying to tell people to lawyer up if they send him screenshots of where he said Mommy Milky.
Ooh, social network reference, technically.
Yeah.
Paul Andrew Garfield.
Anyway, I was talking about the Flash.
The Flash.
And yeah, so like right now they're kind of doing some really neat stuff, and they just had a really cool episode where like Barry Allen gets super speed thinking and like turns into this emotionless fucking Flash, and then ends up having to fight Caitlin Snow as Killer Frost, where she like gets all jacked up on speed juice.
Oh shit.
You end up having like a Speedster versus Speedster Frost fight. It's like, okay, all right. I don't care that this doesn't make any sense. This is still awesome. You still all good?
Oh no, yeah, I'm feeling great. I'm just thinking about the Flash super thinking, and that's always something like when I watch Justice League, the amazing movie, not the Snyder Cut, back in the day. That was the part of the movie where I was like, oh yeah, they got this. And then they lost it later. But the super thinking is something that I've always thought I want that instead of the super speed. Because even if I'm not going super fast myself, if I can at least think quicker than everything else, you can do everything perfectly still. At least to your physical ability. But
absolutely.
But yeah, I was lost in thought about that, but we're good.
Well, the only reason why I asked is I still can't see your camera.
I know.
So I wasn't sure whether that went down or not. But anyway, if you're all good, then we can still continue while you're fixing that. But yeah, so I mean, I think we wanted to talk about what you and I are watching.
Yes.
Dylon and I, since when did we start? Do it like November? October?
What, watching things or recording things?
Watching things.
And can you see me now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. We
a while ago. A while
I
ago.
want to say it was. I want to say One Piece Abridged might have been one of the first things, and that one I think was
One
before
Piece.
China. I think
Really?
that might have been just before your China trip. That was 2019.
No. We can't have been.
No, because we started recording together.
Yes,
I think.
you are right, but like we can't have been doing this for 2.5 years as far as cinema. Anyway, Dylon and I tend to watch stuff over Discord.
Yes.
And it's a really fun way to watch TV with a friend when you can't actually be in a room with a friend.
Yeah.
So we have kind of gone through a bunch of stuff, and what we have gone through most recently is the brilliant WandaVision.
Ugh.
And yeah, Dylon was not super keen on it going in, but I was able to convince him to sit down and watch it with me. And boy, was
One episode
it
at a
worth
time, trickled it into my veins, and it was. You're definitely right. I wasn't super excited. I think when we talked about it a lot, but to briefly recap, I think we got a lot of reveals from Marvel and Disney, and I get very nervous when things are mass produced in a way where I don't trust and I don't believe that there will be enough love in all these individual properties. But what did you call it the other day? The Feigeverse, which I hate, but it was very good. After what, episode 4, I think 3 of WandaVision is where things start turning, and 4 I think is when I'm like, yeah, no, we don't even have to talk about it. You're totally right. I knew you're right or I know you're right now from the beginning, but I was stupid. I was wrong. Took my lumps, and the show's great.
I mean, essentially, and you are totally right to be concerned, you know,
Always.
when
I don't trust anybody.
when it's something you enjoy that much and you're getting a format change, it would be very much like a dragon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were talking about changing the style of something so completely while kind of still keeping it similar. You're taking a huge risk. And knowing that the next thing that's coming out next Friday, oh my God, next Friday is Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I'm very much looking forward to that, but it doesn't look like it's going to have, at least from the trailers, the same kind of emotional resonance that WandaVision did.
We'll see.
It looks like it's just going to be a fun buddy cop story, and I'll be honest with you, I'm totally on board for that. Like, Winter Soldier and the Falcon are probably my favorite relationship that's come out of this whole thing.
Surprisingly
Their patter back and
interesting.
forth is so good. It's so funny. when Winter Soldier's sitting in the back seat of the car and he's like, "Hey, can you pull your seat up a little bit?" And Sam's like, "Nah."
Nah.
And you just see Winter Soldier like scoot over a little bit. That makes me laugh every time. So I'm really looking forward to that whole relationship just being put under a microscope, and we get 10 episodes of television about it, 9 however long episodes of television about it, and then we go into Loki.
I think Loki might have been the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. When I saw WandaVision reveal, I'm like, I'm not a trailer person, so when you and I do it together, it's a big event for video games and whatnot. But when I saw WandaVision was going to be a thing, I was like, great, 2 characters I really don't care that much about. They will probably make it for people that like that. They didn't just, and they made me that person.
Well, I mean, but that's what happened with Guardians of the Galaxy for most people. Nobody gave a shit about the Guardians of the Galaxy, and they made you love them twice.
I had a Rocky Raccoon. I think I told you, a Rocky Raccoon. That's a song. A Rocket Raccoon comic I got on Free Comic Book Day before Guardians of the Galaxy came out, and I didn't read it, but once I knew that was Bradley Cooper, I still didn't read it, but I watched the movie and it was good and I liked it. Rather enjoyed him. Yeah.
But yeah, so like it totally makes sense that nobody would have caught that coming, and that these new shows might be a cash-in effort. But
that's the fear.
I think that WandaVision has shown, at least for now, that is absolutely not what's happening here. And I personally never thought that's what's happening here because I have that kind of blind faith.
Oh, of course. I usually have blind optimism.
I had a feeling.
It's just something about superheroes that I'm like, no, they're going to fuck it up. I got my hopes up for Amazing Spider-Man 1 and Amazing Spider-Man 2 and then Spider-Man, and it was fine.
That reminds me, we need to still sit down and watch Spider-Man Far From Home because you have not watched that yet.
Shit, man. That's like, I never buy DVDs, and I think I bought Spider-Verse because Davey and I saw it on their birthday when it first came out.
What a great movie that is.
Fantastic movie, yeah. Or Blu-ray also, not DVD, sorry. I'm not a pleb. And Davey got Far From Home for me when I got a Spider-Verse for them, and we just never sat down and watched it because my stupid ADD was being diagnosed. Idiot. Yeah. How come I had to do that? But now, we should watch it. I have it on Blu-ray.
Well, I mean, hell, if we're gonna eventually get to Spider-Man 3 as like not the next big movie, but 3 away. I think Shang-Chi,
Black Widow.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Black Widow. Shang-Chi, The Eternals. I'm kind of thinking about ones that are going forward.
Gotcha.
You know? So Black Widow doesn't like ring that bell because it's about stuff that happened already. At least so we assume. So we assume.
Multiverse.
Marvel very easily might be able to throw in some scenes from present day, like post-Endgame stuff.
Some Hellboy, maybe.
Oh my God, that would be so cool.
The trailer kind of sold me.
David Harbour comes in as Russian Captain America and leaves as Hellboy.
Yep.
It'd be amazing.
Baby Hellboy, though, specifically.
It'll be very interesting to see what happens with those characters once we get to later during what may be this phase. Like, are we just done with phases at this point? And is it just all one long cohesive story?
I think that's what I see it as. I agree. And I think it was just the phases was just a means for them to break it up and say, this is after Avengers 1. This is after Avengers 2. Just so they can say, all right, this is why you watch all these movies separate.
To kind of get people used to the idea. And
And now it's just, there's so much that they can do it. But with multiverse stuff, if they're going back and forth in the timeline, like with Black Widow and stuff like that, it gets too complicated. You can call Black Widow phase 5 or 6 or whatever, but it's really pre-phase 1 because Avengers weren't a thing yet. So it gets muddy. But I guess we'll see when smarter people than us make a compilation video. Or an article.
Smarter people than us. I'm not smarter people.
Oh yeah, you did the thing.
But yeah, so I think that about rounds us out for this episode.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of stuff.
That's pretty good. I mean, you guys looking down at that bar down below have seen that this has been a very long episode. So for an inaugural.
Wait, because
I got vaccines.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying ocular.
Oh, I mean, I can see how you would the Inocural.
Yes.
The address here, because this will be the first one post getting this vaccine for me anyway.
Yep.
I think this is a pretty good little example of what we're gonna do here. Just hang out for an hour, talk about stuff, and hopefully eventually field questions from you guys. If you want to put any questions down in the comments below, we'll sift through them as best we can and
let us know.
Pull
tweet
out some
at
good
us.
ones. And
do we have our DMs open on Twitter? That could be a thing.
I do, actually. Yes, I do have mine open, and if you have yours open, then feel free to contact us over at Tim Leftwich or at Dylon or
Dylon
the main,
Show. I wish I could get at Dylon. You think I'm a rich man or something?
At Dylon Show, and then out for videos only. If you just want the video feed, then you just go and follow at Tim and Dylon. Very easy for you.
It's so easy to put those things together. And I guess before we go, just to talk about some stuff we've done on the channel in the last little bit. This might be a let's recap the channel every month kind of thing, but for now, just some of the standouts I wanted to mention. We started a lot of new series because you went on a day job project, and we had to do some stuff before you left, do some stuff after you left. Some things came out, just like games happen, and we answer the call of nature. We played some Persona 5 Strikers. Yeah. When nature calls, you gotta answer. I'm just saying. We played some Persona 5 Strikers. That's been really fun. And like you mentioned, we're gonna get a little bit farther so you can play on your own. And we talked about it off camera. We might come back at some point if you find a place of the game, maybe drop a save and we can see, hey, is this a standout moment we can come talk about? We might do that. We played some Rhythm Doctor, which has been very fun and good reception as well.
I love that game so much.
It's magical.
And you really have to go and watch those 2 episodes of Rhythm Doctor because like it's all of my favorite things wrapped into one. It's a game that messes with the player. It's a game that it's a rhythm game, so it's got beautiful, wonderful music to listen to, and it actually has a really great kind of through line and story to it. It does for rhythm games what You Don't Know Jack the Ride did for trivia games.
Oh man, and you and I have had like 3-hour discussions about that one.
Yeah, I hope that the developers consider that the very high praise that it is. Because I love that game so much, and I can't wait to play through more of it.
For sure, and very rarely will I, as a spectator of you, of your presentation of, hey, look at this game, that's awesome, will buy the game right away. Hades did that to me and played it a ton at first, and then when the game came out in a full release, I played it a fuck ton as well. Rhythm Doctor is getting there. We did 2 episodes, and I bought it almost immediately after that, and I'm very excited to go through it. Yeah.
Wonderful.
And another fun one, Super Rubber Ross World. We started playing that, and that's been a little project of mine.
We need to do more of that.
Yeah, we do. We got to block out a couple weeks to do that because I'm very bad at that game. As you will see if you watch the first 2 episodes, I'm editing that multicam, and it is a trek.
I think that is the understatement of the century.
Yeah, and it's a tough one. And then finally...
You lost all of your lives on the 3rd stage. That's how bad it is. It's really bad.
I think I cut that out and then just jumped ahead to my 3rd section of tries when you already started playing a different game, but...
I'm pretty sure we did the calculations for how many lives you lost during that interim, though.
Yeah, you did quick maths, because you start with 69, I think, and you were like, okay, that plus the 40 or so that you lost, plus wherever you're at now. So, you go watch that. It's a good one. And then on the Tim side of things, his personal projects, you interviewed Miles Luna, formerly of Rooster Teeth fame and director and writer, I believe both, of Ruby and Camp Camp. And
on Red vs. Blue as well.
And Red vs. Blue, yeah. I remember season 8 or 9, he was already doing stuff on there, doing the head bobbings and stuff. I remember back in the day. So very interesting. I watched that whole thing. And I don't know if you saw my tweet. You asked a fun question at the end, which was, last third, favorite words and least favorite words, and he said dividends. That was the first fucking thing I said was dividends, because I hate stocks and taxes and business and GameStop. No, GameStop's fine.
I'm about to say, I think it's kind of on everybody's forefront of mind at the moment because of that sort of thing. So,
I think so.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
And then lots of other games. You'll catch it on youtube.com/Tim and Dylon.
Absolutely. And I should have another interview out fairly soon that is related to the previous one, and I'm very excited to be able to announce that. So look for that on Twitter.
Brother.
I mean, it might as well be. So I will announce that on Twitter when that happens, and when I've got it in the can. I tend to kind of like hold off on announcing Tim Talks until I watch the footage back and I know that everything worked properly. And then I'm like, yeah, all right, we're good. I can go ahead and tweet, because I've had that happen before where I've like tweeted out, oh yay, I've got this awesome person coming on.
Yeah.
And then like my audio didn't record or some shit. And so the episode can't happen. And oh god, that's the worst.
I want to dub
That's the worst feeling.
I want to do the English dub of Tim Talks. If that ever happens again, please. I'll even make it up if you don't want to write it.
Okay,
But
you got it. I think that's very funny.
hello, everyone. We've got. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay.
Anyway, well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all enjoyed this inaugural episode of the Tim and Dylon Podcast, and we'll see you back here next month to talk about more things. We'll have Falcon and Winter Soldier. We'll have probably some new games to talk about.
Hopefully, maybe more.
Who knows what other shenanigans? So maybe Dylon will be able to tell us about his vaccine experience.
Whoa!
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Probably not, but I hope so.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you back here next time. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting the show.
Yes, we really
if you are
appreciate
listening to this in audio, please consider joining the channel so that you can watch this in video format, as well as the other member perks that we have listed at the join button on our channel. You can
And then
check
you can
those
see
out.
these finger buttons,
Including
finger guns is what I
a
meant to say.
$99 option, because why? I mean, if you want to just give us $100, I'm not going to stop you. But like, why? Why would you do that?
I'll take it. I'll take it. You know, those app developers, they make their microtransactions. They put the $150 one. They're like, someone's going to do it. Someone wants those
and
points.
the Tim and Dylon Show is looking for sponsors. So if anyone wants to sponsor us, we will give you huge shout outs along the show and figure out where to put ad placements and stuff like that.
Your brand here.
Our popular orange juice brand rhyming with prana. If you
Something like
want
that.
to get money, or if you want to pay us money so that we can promote your product, we will. Anyway,
Until
ladies
then, I
and
will hold
gentlemen,
it like this.
from Dylon and from myself. Bye.
Bye.